Okay, so on further reflection, board member Gary Hill asked me a question, because I'm a employee of the county of Warren. Do I have an appearance of conflict? Because the county of Warren is going to do a review of the application. So I said, well, do you work for the engineering department? He does not work for the engineer. If he works for the engineering department, I would tell him he has to recuse. He works for 911. He's the 911 coordinator. So then we asked him, and I brought the other attorneys in because I wanted to try to work the thing out ahead of time. And it is conceivably possible that they would ask Mr. Hill's opinion on the safety aspect of this project. So Mr. Hill is going to recuse himself also. So I'm going to ask all the board members again, think about who your employer is. And if they have any contracts with the township or any firm that might be doing business or related to the applicant, or any other governmental agency that's going to be doing any review here. And I'm going to ask again, after thinking about that, as Mr. Hill thought about after his first initial reaction was, I don't have any appearance of conflict. And he thought about his employer, just like that was Mr. Beam's issue. So we'll start again. Yes or no?
No.
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 Nope.
No.
Chaplain of the police department in this town,
In this town, your chaplain of the police department. Police department doing a review? Are they gonna ask you anything about?
Yeah.
And if they do, you're gonna tell them you can't talk about it because you're on the board.
I will do that, but I'm just raising it up.
Yeah. Yeah, does anyone think,
Crazy thing.
I don't think he has an appearance of conflict, do you? Do you? Do you?
I'm not qualified at this point in time but no, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, don't be cute about it. It's a touchy topic.
It doesn't matter what I think, but no.
No, it does matter what you think. Okay, so again, I'm gonna ask Danielle, remind me tomorrow, I gotta speak to these two board members that are not here. I have to ask them these questions. Send me an email. Okay, with that, any other issues out of an abundance of caution that we should deal with before this hearing starts anew on September 11? And I said, it would be very helpful if you send in a letter identifying what plans and what documents are now in front of the board, either for approval or are gonna be exhibits.
Yes, so what we have at this point in time are plans that are still being revised based on changes, obviously, because the hearing was continuing and there were suggestions, modifications, et cetera, that were being made, in real time. What we can do is our architectural plans have not changed and are likely not subject to any further changes. We can begin with, first of all, we'll identify the plans that are of record at this point in time that will remain of record, subject to change. But I believe what we'll do next is likely start with our architect, who has not testified yet, but will testify to plans that we have not necessarily discussed at a public hearing. That matters because we're starting anew, but again, those are the same plans that we have. And by the next hearing after that, we should have our.
Okay, but I'm not even asking you what your plan of attack is. I'm asking you.
No, and that's why I'm just trying to let you know why we're not going to submit likely going to submit the engineering plans and a full set of engineering plans before the next hearing. So we have plans that we submitted initially, and then they were modified.
Hold on. You need to have a set of plans on file.
They are.
Just listen to me. 10 days before the hearing. I know you have. I want you to identify.
Yes.
Which ones of those plans do you still seek approval of? Because we've revised.
Yes.
I want to shed the ones that you're no longer seeking approval of. I just want a list.
I understand what you're looking for.
Okay.
I'm trying to avoid you yelling at me the next hearing when it's not exactly what you want.
Okay, I understand that. Other than that, can any of you to other objector attorneys think of anything that should be done before this hearing starts, besides the new notice, which he's already gonna do? And you step up to the podium.
And Mr. Simon did discuss his desire to streamline it moving forward, so I'm actually curious to see what he says.
Well, I'll be very brief. So I think that, and I'm glad actually that Mr. Lepari told everyone what his plan is for the September 11th hearing, and that this is going to be a new witness with architectural plans that are on file, and they will not have changed between now and then, correct?
I don't believe so.
Right, okay, so. What I was gonna then suggest is, so that witness can go forward, be questioned, et cetera, and it's a new witness. What I was gonna suggest is that maybe between that hearing and the next hearing, where presumably the applicant will finish with the architect at that September 11th hearing, and then proceed to go with an engineer and traffic with revised plans at some future date, that transcripts of the witness's testimony that happened before the do-over, engineering and art and traffic. Let me finish, don't. Engineering and traffic be provided to the extent that it's possible that maybe some of the issues that have been resolved, responded to, et cetera, that the
I'll tell you
areas
what
of
makes me
inquiry
nervous.
can.
If we're starting new, I don't want any transcripts from the hearing sessions that you would argue were tainted. I don't want any
I'm
of
not
that.
saying it's part of the record, I'm just trying to be helpful. I don't, that's fine. You guys want to sort over,
No.
that's,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I want a total starting anew. I don't want any of those transcripts from that, from the last 4 hearings. As far as I'm concerned, they're worth nothing now, you know. Okay, let's see your attempt to try to help.
I would just ask that if there are plan revisions, not exhibits, but plan revisions, that they be provided 21 days in advance of the meeting as is required. And that anything that's submitted to the board be provided to both Mr. Simon and myself digitally. But plan revisions are different than exhibits.
Okay, so, and Mr. Lepari is right about something, and that is there are plans on file. And those plans on, the plans on file with the last revisions, those are the ones they're seeking approval of. What Mr. Gruenberg is saying is, if there are gonna be further revisions in those plans, he does not want the board waiving the 21-day submission on that, because that would give the board experts both our engineer and our planner, the whole theory of 21 days is they get like 11 days to try, to review it, and then hopefully their report comes in closer to 10 days before than the day of. So that's his request. If they are gonna do plan revisions, now, if you're gonna have the architect only testifying September 11th, you're not gonna have to worry about it, because you won't have your engineer back up with any plan revisions till October.
I just want to clarify. The plans that are on file still have the driveway where it's located.
No,
Originally, but what had been submitted wasn't a plan revision. It was a drawing showing the relocation of the driveway. But the set of plans have not been devised.
he's right about that. I should thank him for that.
Well, accept that. The architect on September 11th is gonna presumably testify as to his plan or her plan, right?
Right,
And issues about driveway design, configuration, traffic, ingress, egress, all that is not happening on September.
that's what I'm saying, it's not,
Right,
it's not happening until
right.
October,
Right,
right,
so it's, but my point is that I don't think it's a problem for the applicant,
yeah,
right?
correct.
Not sure, but
Mr. Gruenberg is pointing out
yes,
that before the engineer testifies, you're gonna have to revise those plans to incorporate these changes that you proposed.
correct. He's not gonna testify to old plans, just to redo them and testify again. That's what we're trying to
Correct.
avoid.
But Mr. Gruenberg is asking that the 21-day rule be enforced on that.
Respectfully, you know, and I do say this respectfully, I don't think it's Mr. Gruenberg's position or place to request that this board waive a hearing.
Not waive.
A possible request by the applicant to waive the 21-day rule at a future time.
He's asking that for the revisions that we know have to be made, that you do them 21 days before whatever the October hearing date is.
Right, and I don't know that it can be done, so if I can't be done, I'll ask for the waiver. I don't think we should decide that now. That's the rule of the board. If I ask for a waiver,
When would you ask for the waiver? On September 11th?
yeah, that's why, that would be the only opportunity to do it.
He can ask on September 11th,
Or-
and then we can argue about it. We're
Or
very
after
good
the
at that.
fact, I could ask for the waiver. But again, if you
Yeah.
disagree with it, then you can make that decision. But I don't think we should make that before it happens.
I think he's right about that. Okay, a lot of you guys are right about a lot of things. Okay, so is there anything else? Anything else?
Mr. Drill, I'd like to take an opportunity to not have an attorney talk now.
Go ahead.
I think we all agree to that. It's a great idea.
I don't want to speak for Ms. Lely, but we have two board professionals. You're starting a new application. We both have letters, multiple versions of those letters. Are we starting over ourselves or are we modifying our current letter to match the newest plans coming in?
That's a good one.
I believe if there's no changes, we could just adopt the most recent letters. If we do make some changes, they could be subject to your review if you determine that the changes are substantial enough to warrant an additional review
Yeah,
letter.
put it this way, when they haven't revised the plans yet. They've sent in exhibits to show, but when they revise the plans, then you use your judgment. If you think that it'll be a lot easier just to do a new review letter, you do it. I'll say the same thing to Kendra, the board's planning expert. Wait till they submit, and then you use your judgment. If you think that it would make a lot more sense and streamline things to do a new review letter from scratch, then do it.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, so the application is gonna be scheduled for September 11, but there will be new notice. So see you all in this room.
We have an application.
There's gonna be a smaller application on first that night. So I'll ask the is the board willing to start that meeting at 7 o'clock instead of 7:30? Anyone have a problem with that?
I might.
Well, you missed the first application, it's the Woody,
Okay.
okay? So you gotta do open public meetings out, notices to 2 newspapers. To change the time of the September meetings. Okay?
I have a question. Are we gonna-
Yeah, so you're not shown, you're recused. If you wanna stay home for Woody, stay home for Woody also, they'll excuse you. But you're recused in this application.
Okay, my question is whether or not we are gonna continue in this format of this alternate site, or are we gonna go back to using the school? Not the school's gonna be open, so everybody can be in one building.
I'm thinking alternate site, that's just gonna add another level of, especially when we have these other smaller applications that come in. So we're gonna stay here, yeah, with the alternate site.
Okay. I'm gonna be recused. I'm gonna have to find somebody else to be here then.
We have a volunteer to man the site.
I could be there, but I don't have keys, so someone else has to.
Someone to unlock for him, but he can man the site.
Okay,
Okay. Now. The current time to decide this application. Is October 31. So let's get an extension. December 31. You agree? That's gonna give you September for the architect, October for your engineer. And November for your planner, and then do you guys do objecting attorneys? You guys gonna bring in experts? Okay, so there's no way that this thing is gonna finish before December 31st in any event, and I'm not asking for an extension into the new year. I'm just asking for an extension to December 31, knowing how many witnesses we have.
Yes.
Okay, great. Anything else? Okay, then if I were you, I'd make a motion to adjourn this quickly.
Session? Second?
Wait, who did it, John?
And
Joe. Yes, we're all in favor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done.
Yeah.